Hello. As someone who's spent most of his working life watching and reporting sport, I derive great pleasure from looking back over the years and recalling some of these marvellous moments in sport, which I'd like to share with you now. And the way we can do that is by digging into the bulging archives of BBC television, which are full of such moments, and I suppose we could draw on them almost endlessly. Well, I thought we'd start with what's often been described as one of the finest rugby union matches ever played. It took place in January 1973 at what was then called Cardiff Arms Park, but which now, of course, is known as the National Stadium of Wales. Capacity crowd, 51,000 people there to see the touring New Zealanders, the All Blacks, who had already beaten England, Scotland and Wales. And they were playing against that famous club, the Barbarians, the Barbars, extraordinary club, which was founded, strangely enough, over an oyster supper in Bradford in 1890. Now the Barbarians, the Barbars, are an informal collection of internationals from any country and also some leading club players who might not quite have made international status. Well, you can imagine the marvellous atmosphere in the great Welsh home of rugby as Phil Bennett, the Welsh fly half, prepares to kick off for the Barbarians, and the commentator is another superb Welsh fly half, but of a slightly earlier generation, Cliff Morgan.
So Mr. Georges Domergue of France handling this game, which he says is one of the great moments in his life. What can it produce? Just inside the 10-yard line. Burgess, Hurst. That's for Grant Batty. John Williams, very good. Joe Curran. David Duckham, John Dawes, Mike Gibson. That's a great ball. So the Gibson man starts running early on. McBride trying to get. Wilkinson going. Williams again. Everyone with him. Sid going. Very little support. Good tackle by Slattery of Ireland. Almost on the halfway line. Kirkpatrick to Williams. This is great stuff. Phil Bennett covering. Chased by Alistair Scone. Brilliant. Oh, that's brilliant. John Williams, Brian Williams, pulling. John Dawes, great dummy. David, Tom David, the halfway line, brilliant by Quinnell. This is Gareth Edwards, a dramatic start. What a score! Oh, that fellow Edwards. One sidestep, two, brilliantly beating. Up in support, John Williams, John Pullin. On this, John Dawes' expertise, superb dummy. Tom David, the flank forward in support. Quinnell's brilliant take. Edwards, what can touch a man like that? Duckham on his own 25. A long way to go, but he's prepared. Oh, this was David again, Tom David. Look at this. Well-beaten Batty. Callum's tackle. Slattery backing up. Inside to McBride, Willie John. Wilkinson, Edwards, Bennett, Dawes, Williams, Gibson. This must be a try for Bevan in the corner. Scoun's tackle. Wiley holding. Good scrummaging that. Going back. Williams reading it brilliantly. To Duckham. Burgess is beaten. Duckham with the whole line. What a dummy. Fabulous tackle. Wilkinson covering by Karam. Quinnell. Edwards again. Into Quinn, into Slattery. Over the top. Dawes. Brilliant. But it was forward. Here we are then, 10 yards from New Zealand's line. Going harassed by Edwards. Slattery's pickup. And he scores! From that scrimmage, Edwards harassing going, so to Slattery. That's the pickup. Couldn't be held by Burgess, Brian Williams or Karam. Phil Bennett then, from the identical spot, he converted a penalty. Number 7 then, the Irishman Fergus Slattery, scorer of the Barbarians' second try. Good ball. Burgess. Oh, interception by Quinnell. Here's Dawes. This is John Bevan. Williams can't get him. So strong, this fellow. What a try! This came when Bob Burgess failed to pick that one up, an awkward ball. Great tackle, that one, by Slattery again. Superb pickup. That ball from Dawes, brilliant. But see how strong this man is. He's done this once before to New Zealand in Canterbury. He only came into this Barbarian team because Gerald Davies cried off this morning. A superb first half. John Dawes doing for the Barbars what he did for the British Lions in New Zealand. Monsieur Georges Domert has had a very good match. He's allowed advantage. He's been unobtrusive. Pick up by Kirkpatrick. That's him, the big man. That's Whiting, even bigger. Forward it went. The referee waiting for the advantage will call for this set scrum. Edwards then, and this time he gets the treatment from the referee, not in straight. On this, an easy 3 points for New Zealand. Some would say they should run it, but there's a long way to go in this game, and 3 points on the board could give you a little lift. And this probably is what's going through the mind of Ian Kirkpatrick. Joe Karam is kicking towards our camera just over the Taff River, the River Taff that runs alongside this ground. $125 points on tour. We've had 8 minutes of the second half, 17 points to 3 the score, and that's the Barbarians 25. Going Burgess brilliantly. Hurst, this is Karam in the line, Williams in the line. Can he get there? He's got great speed. Grant Batty is in. Grant Batty from this superb take on his toes by Burgess. Into the line from Robertson came Brian Williams. He stretched his legs. There was Grant Batty at his elbow. Nothing could stop him. The little man's 16th try on tour. This is Gareth Edwards with his team leading 17 points to 7. The referee penalising Batty. Batty retaliating, the referee penalising him. The Barbarians on the attack. Slattery to Williams. John Bevan from the halfway line. What a tackle that was. Ian Hurst did well to get back. Cut him to Brian Williams. 3 men there. He should have given it. Williams is too safe a player to try and run through. McDonald to Whiting, front row forward. Ronnie Ehrlich. Covering again, John Pullen for England. The England hooker there at the vital moment. Colling, Burgess, into the line comes Brian Williams. Over the top, it should have gone to Williams though. Duckham was in. Ahead for Batty. He picks it up. He scores for speed. Over the top. This is a brilliant try by Grant Batty. He picks it up. Superb pass from Colling. Burgess. Williams into the line. It should have gone to him, really. But it was made by that beautiful chip ahead. And by this fellow's pace, beating John Dawes, John Williams too. Not many wings can control like that. 17 points to 11 then with Batty's try. Slattery's deflection. That's the great try. Willie John tackled by Alex Wiley. Beautifully fed to Edwards on the blind side. John Bevan. Kirkpatrick's tackle, the pick-up by Bob Burgess, John Williams, the 10-yard line still. Wilkinson for the Barbarians. Edwards, Bennett, Dawes is with him, so too Duckham. Now Gibbs is outside Duckham. These two between them have got pace. Kirkpatrick's tackle on Duckham, Batty as well. Carmichael of Scotland. David of Wales, Pullen of England, Slattery of Ireland, Gibson of Ireland. That's his genius. That's now Willie John, Tom David of Wales. Joe Curran's tackle, and it went forward. And that by Lindsay Colling, a great piece of play, but Duckham can keep it in. David Duckham. Lambert misses him. Kirkpatrick as well. Colling was in that again. Derek Quinnell, Dawes, Williams, Gibson. Slattery to John Williams. David Duckham. See how eventually the Barbars refuse to let this ball die. Dawes, Williams, Gibson, they're not content. Gibson having done his job. Williams was outside Slattery and his sidestep beat Karam. And Batty's despairing tackle. This has been a great occasion. Let me not say a word now as we listen to this crowd and we watch some of the greatest players of the decade, indeed of all time.
Vivian Jenkins, that great Welsh fullback of the years between the wars, started his report of that match in the Sunday Times with the words, magic, sheer, unbelievable, undiluted magic. He was right. Well, let's come more up to date now with another unforgettable piece of rugby union history at Murrayfield in Edinburgh in March 1980. Now, England hadn't achieved the Rugby Grand Slam for 23 years, but now it was within their grasp. They'd already beaten Wales, Ireland and France, and now only Scotland stood between them and the Grand Slam in the final match of the season. Well, what better climax could you ask for to a season's rugby? England, with all that at stake, having to play the old enemy on the old enemy's ground. Well, Scotland are ready to kick off, and waiting to tell us all about it is Bill McLaren.
And Andy Evans starts the match for Scotland. Straight over the dead ball line. Just a little bit of cold breeze to keep the players moving today, but otherwise conditions pretty good. John Horton restarts. David Gray goes up. Steve Smith goes back. Smith half caught by Leslie. Now it's along the line there from Woodward. That's Dodge. That's Paul Dodge, who kicked a massive penalty goal when he played for England here a couple of years ago. Ken Laurie, the Scots hooker, throwing. David Gray, Laidlaw, Rutherford, Rennick, but it's there to Bruce Hay. Bruce Hay taking it back to his forward. Beautifully laid. This is Laidlaw. Caught there by Neary. The ball picked up there by Smith. Smith out to Woodward, and there's a break on here. Out to Slemon. Slemon trying to run past Keith Robertson. Kicks on. Back there goes Johnston. Johnston pushed out of the way, and it was obstruction. Clive Woodward, who really showed a bit of pace there, but definitely playing the man when he didn't have the ball. And the Scots breathing with the relief there as David Johnson was pushed away, because it gives them the chance to clear a desperate situation. John Rutherford. So the first shortened line of the match, and England have left in Colclough number 5 and John Scott 8 against Gray and Tomes. John Scott, Smith, this is Cotton, Bill Bowman, Bowman tackled by Rennick. David Johnson out to Irvine. That is a boom boom. Up into Scottish territory, up into English territory. Wheeler throws, Tomes got hands to it, Beattie back, but a bit of obstruction. Jean-Pierre Bonnet, who is doing his second major international today. He did the Wales-England match last season. Stay here. Good kick. Yes, he's really been pretty steady in those championship matches this season. That's Ken Laurie of Gallahooker. Smith again. Horton. Woodward. Oh, what a lovely bit of work by Woodward. A great chance for Carlton. He's bound to score. What a super try. And so John Carlton puts on his second try of this season for England. Got his first against France. And it all looked really so easy. Steve Smith there, almost caught by Leslie. Horton along the line. Now watch here how Woodward kidded on. A lovely step in off his right foot. Beat Johnston. And Carlton's positioning was simply brilliant. That was a lovely try. No meteorological trouble for him. Indeed, no trouble at all for Hare. And so England go ahead by 6 points to 0 with just 16 minutes of the first half gone. Well, some vocal encouragement for the Scots there. It's Ken Laurie throws. Laidlaw, Rutherford, Rennick, Johnston. Johnston half through out to Rennick. Good English lateral defence, though. However, there's a chance for Keith Robertson. Robertson going outside Slamon. Well, Keith Robertson isn't regarded as an authentically fast wing three-quarter, but he really made a lot of ground there very quickly. Notice the bounce, he was travelling well, and he just needed a couple of inches, but didn't have them. Taken at the back by Neary. Great man at collecting ricochets. Notice how Beaumont tried to take away Leslie from the edge. That's John Horton. And Horton again keeping the pressure on the Scots. Back there goes Keith Robertson, almost to his own line. And Keith Robertson, who played standoff for his club Melrose last Saturday, a great utility player. Using Neary at the tail. Smith, the drop, Woodward thinking about the drop goal, running past Larry over the 22. Oh, Woodward half through again. Has he made a try for Slamon? And Mike Slamon scores his 5th try for England. And once again, the Scottish tackling to Woodward, the centre's running, was really well below standard. It all looked so easy. Tony Neary winning it from Leslie. Smith changing his pass beautifully. Woodward really thought of the drop goal with the left foot. Ran outside Laurie. Now watch this mazy bit of running. Again coming off one foot, then the other. The quick acceleration. That is brilliant running. And Slemon up there as always to take the try. Well, he stroked it well. Oh, what a kick. So it's 12 points to 0, England ahead with about 11-12 minutes to go to half-time. And Scotland with a mountain to climb. Scotland have cut to 3. Scott beats Beattie. Now it's Neary. Neary looking for Ackley. Ackley in there smuggling. Look at that white blanket roundabout. Notice how they balance up the maul, the English forwards. But Scottish arms are round it, and so another Englishman. It's Beaumont goes in to wrench it clear. Smith to Horton. Horton prodding again into no man's land. And really at the moment it's all England, with this little man Horton of Bath really putting the squeeze on the Scots with those lovely little kicks. Laurie held it back to Tomes. That was a good throw in, Laidlaw in trouble. Bouncing ball defeating the Jed scrum half. And this is a situation that they will call for the very best that the Scottish forwards have. England, you remember they scored a try against Ireland with a straight pick-up and drive by John Scott. They're as close as that. The Scots' backs have to stay behind the rear feet. England holding. They're going for the pushover. Scott still in charge. Now it's a pick-up. Now it's out to Smith. And it's out to Carleton. And Carleton scores his 2nd try of the match. And England are almost out of sight at 16 points ahead. It was on all the way from the moment that Wheeler won the strike. Again the drive, the tightness. Scott's tremendous footwork. Smith was caught by Bruce Hay. But Hay, having had to come in to take Smith, left Carleton free.
After that Carleton try, Irvine scored 2 penalties for Scotland and Hare 1 for England. We rejoined the action with the score Scotland 6, England 19.
Utley, Smith to Horton. Woodward, dodge on the crash ball and the scissors. Setting it up again for the forwards. Now it's out Smith again. Woodward coming inside over the 22. Woodward caught there by Irvine. Now it's back again to Horton. Horton caught by Rutherford and then by Beattie. Gives it to Smith. Smith out there to Carleton. Carleton knocked down by Hay. Great Scottish defence on their own 22. But again it's Beaumont driving. Now it's out to Smith. Inside to Scott. Utley takes it from him. Utley out to Smith. Smith going for the line and he scored. So that try by Smith surely seals it now. It was great interplay between forwards and backs leading up to this situation with Beaumont giving to Smith. Then the forwards took over again. Scott and Utley. Lovely pass from Utley. and Smith stepping inside John Rutherford. Rutherford got the tackle in, but it wasn't good enough. Domes, Laidlaw, Rutherford, missed out Rennie, gives it to Johnston. Johnston caught there by Dodge. That's Woodward, thrown down by Leslie. Laidlaw out to Rowan, the prop forward. Rowan of Barramure gives it there to Keith Robertson. Robertson with Domes outside, hands it on to Laidlaw. Laidlaw caught there by Utley, inside the England 22. This is John Beattie. Beattie caught there by Wheeler. Gray feeds out. Now it's Rutherford. Rennick, Johnston. Johnson over the 22 line. Out to Jim Gosman. Gosman. Now to Laidlaw. Not a lot of room there, but Rennick still going. Can Rennick make the line? Tackle just short, but it's a try for Domes. Brilliant support work by the Scots. They really deserved that try because it came out of defence. And it came here with David Gray playing scrum half. Rutherford to Rennick. Now watch here how Johnson made most of the running. Then Jim Gosman brought it inside. Laidlaw was the link man. Then Rennick with that little glide of his off the left foot. Just a metre short himself. And Domes, his Hoyt club mate, up to score the try. Can Andy Irvine make it 23-12? England back on the Scottish 22. Oh, that's another monumental drive. But the Scots breakaway's taken away. This is Domes again. Domes having one of his great games for Scotland. Lays it back. Bigger out there to Laidlaw. Laidlaw to Burnett. Burnett to Rutherford. Rennick. David Johnston. Out to Robertson. Inside to Irvine. Caught by Horton. That's halfway. And Utley, number 6, did tremendously well to get across field there. But I tell you, this game isn't over by a long shot. Well, the Murrayfield crowd are certainly entering into the whole spirit of the thing because they really are trying to lift the Scottish side. That was Domes driving on. The try scorer for Scotland, now bigger in support. Laidlaw nicely positioned. Woodward did well to get in the way. Burnett did extremely well as a link man. Rennick along the line to Johnson. Now, Robertson could well have held on just a little longer there. But we're back live and it's Laidlaw chased by Scott. That was Dodge hoisting. Oh, and it's going to be a third try for Carrollton. With that hesitation, Irvine and Gosman in trouble, and Carleton scores his third try of the match, and that surely is England's Grand Slam try. What a day John Carleton has had. Watch the indecision here. Irvine and Gosman not certain who was going to take it, and all John Carleton had to do was stretch his legs. Despairing tackle by Keith Robertson. Laidlaw to Laurie to Tomes. Laidlaw again, Rutherford inside to Irvine. Irvine half through, over the 22, nicely out there to Laurie. Leslie to Rennick going for the line, out to Johnston. Can Johnston make it? Robertson knocked it to touch. The touch judge's flag is up. Another brilliant Scottish move. Rennick making the running. Johnston almost squeezing home, and Robertson just knocked enough by hair to go into touch before he hit the flag. Wheeler floats it, Gray gets hands to it, Laidlaw palms it out, Rennick again half through, looking for the umbrella from his forwards, and he's got it. This is Laidlaw half through, 2 to 3 metres short. The Scots forwards have lifted themselves. They really are piling in there. And once again, the English line held. And what will the England forwards do here? Will Peter a neat manner, I'm sure, and I think the bonus might be that they've won the ball as well, although Gray trying to go. Gray, back there to Rutherford. Rutherford going through. Oh, what a try! Well, you've really got to hand it to the Scots. They haven't lain down. That's a tremendous score by Rutherford, his third for his country. Erwin slots the goal, and Scotland are back in the game. It was a fiercely twiddling scrimmage. Leslie fighting clear. The big man Gray did well, and notice how Rutherford with a little check, the little swerve, and the acceleration. That was good stuff. Scots all set to run. Laidlaw, Laurie. Laidlaw again, gives it to Leslie. Leslie driving into Utley. Now it's Laidlaw again. Rutherford, Rennick, Johnston. This is John Beattie, the number 8 forward. Beattie helped there by Jim Gosman, 21. Yet another member of the West of Scotland club to be capped for Scotland, and what a roll of honour they've got now. The referee's whistle goes for the end of the match. Without a doubt, the most dramatic and exciting match of the International Championship. A match in which Bill Beaumont and his England side there had the game totally in their grasp, and then suddenly had the feeling that it might after all slip away. But England had enough character and discipline to stave off those Scottish attempts to snatch what would have been a totally unexpected victory. England, therefore, the winners by 30 points to 18.
So, after 23 years, England had once more achieved the Grand Slam. You can understand how England's giant captain, Bill Beaumont, and his men must have felt as they left Murrayfield in the team coach. Beaumont is a giant, you know. He stands nearly 6'4", he weighs 17 stone, and he takes size 17 in shirt collars. Makes my 14.5 seem a bit puny. But now, let's move on to cricket and that most famous and oldest of all one-day competitions, the Gillette Cup. Now, Gillette were the first of cricket's major sponsors. Sadly, they've now withdrawn, but from 1963 to 1980, their name was part of the fabric of cricket in this country. And what memories the Gillette Cup inspires, and none better, I think, than the one we can enjoy again now. From 1971, a semi-final at Old Trafford between the holders, Lancashire, and Gloucestershire, who'd batted first and made 229 for 6. Now, as we pick it up, Lancashire have made 122 for 2, and Clive Lloyd, anxious to get on with it, faces the bowling of Mike Proctor. The commentator is Jim Laker.
Moving in again. Yet another bounce at a Clive Lloyd, and how magnificently he put that away through mid-wicket. Controlled hook shot all the way along the ground. Proctor to him again. And just look at that. One couldn't wish to see a better or more perfectly placed straight drive. 4 more runs, and the delight on the Lancashire supporters there. Runs now coming to a fair pace. Lloyd instrumental in getting Lancashire up and cut to head with the clock at this stage. Barry Wood, his partner, he's still made 50 at the other end, playing the sheet anchor role and doing it so very, very well. Another bouncer, and the crowd love it when Lloyd hits it like that. It's not going to be 4. Shepherd's cutting it off down at deep mid-wicket. But it brings Clive Lloyd 2 more runs. And he comes once again to Clive Lloyd. Barry Wood attempting a single to the wicket-keeper, but he's not going to make it, no. And a fine return there, and Barry Wood run out. So a blow also to Lancashire, also to Barry Wood, being run out trying to take a single through to the keeper, which meant that the third Lancashire wicket had fallen for 136. So now we've got a situation with Mortimer bowling to, and a magnificent shot. 6 runs to John Sullivan, perfectly timed. almost takes one's breath away with the effortless ease in which he put that over the mid-wicket boundary. At this stage, Lancashire had moved on to 155 for 3, with Sullivan still there and beginning to look dangerous. Now we see at the other end John Davey, the medium-pace left-arm bowler, coming into John Sullivan. Sullivan giving himself room but hitting all round it, and another wicket falling. That of Sullivan, the score at this stage became 156 for 4. Mention surely of John Davey, who bowled 7 overs at that stage, and off those 7 overs he'd only conceded 11 runs and he'd taken that wicket. So 1 for 11. Clive Lloyd had moved beautifully and elegantly on now to 34. The total had moved to 160. There he is, going for the big hit, being beaten a little bit by the flight of that ball. Mortimer holding it back, defeating Lloyd's intention to put it over long on, and we saw Clive Lloyd clean bowled by John Mortimer. He'd made 34. The Lancashire total was now 160 for 5. And it's Farouk Engineer we see now up there. He'd just made a couple of runs at this stage. Mortimer now nearing the end of his spell, coming into Engineer. See him slip. Back foot going back. Treads on his wicket. Umpire being asked, and Farouk Engineer is out. His heel slipped back and just removed that leg bail. So that was the 6th Lancashire wicket to fall. The total was 163, and it was Farouk Engineer who was out. Hit wicket to John Mortimer for just 2. Mortimer now to Bond.
So, magnificent stop. If he could only have got it back a little earlier, I think Jack Bond would have been run out. Superb stop there by Skipper Brown. So 42 left now, the difference between Lancashire and a place in the final. And Tony Brown really must have to think shortly about bringing Proctor into the attack. It looks as though Proctor is going to come and join the attack. He's still got 4 overs left to bowl. So Proctor to Simmons. Immediately the umpire coming on. He's just bowled 1 ball, and umpire Bird coming over to see Arthur Jackson. And I can't think they'll stay out there. But really at 25 past 8 at the end of July, it's amazing that we've been able to carry on so long. Jack Bond obviously doesn't want to disappoint this enormous crowd. He'd like them all to stay and see the finish. He'd like to see a Lancashire victory in this semi-final game, see them through to Lord's. But if they consult much more, it's going to be very dark by the time somebody makes a decision. So they're taking back their rightful positions. The game is going to resume. Well, that took about 3 minutes, that consultation. The light worsening the whole time. Proctor tearing in. Thick edge down past slip. No chance of cutting it off. 4 lucky runs there to Simmons. So tremendous scenes here. Proctor in again. That's the bouncer. A brave hook shot by Simmons in the gathering gloom. Brings him a single. But he couldn't have seen too much of it. So Skipper Bond to receive now from Proctor. Nicely played shot, bringing up the 200. Bond taking a single to 3rd man. So more enthusiastic applause. Some of their hands must be pretty sore, all the clapping they've got through today. 3 hours, 36 minutes the 200 has taken. 27 wanted off 7 overs. John Mortimer to come in for his 10th over. And he's bowled him. So they're continuing, but that was a brave, noble effort by Jack Simmons. 25, looking to get him a victory as quickly as possible tonight. Aiming for the big hit off John Mortimer. a great all-round performance by Jack Simmons. The point is, of course, that his eyes have got accustomed to this light. Whether the same is going to apply to David Hughes, who's coming out of a pavilion, in fact a dressing room where the lights are on inside. So he squirted that away on the offside to get off the mark, optimistically looking for a second, but no chance. So it's Jack Bond on 15, the Lancashire total on 204, 26 wanted. We're in the 54th over. A little bit worried about the light. It's certainly got progressively darker, despite the fact that Proctor is coming off. It's going to be John Davey. 2 overs left. He's bowled 10 overs, 1 for 21. No doubt these two batsmen wishing the light was something as it's appearing on your television screen. It is, of course, there's no relation to the actual light here now. It's really extremely dark. I can never remember a first-class match being played at this time and in such bad light. So Hughes scrambling another single nearer this total of 230. All the lights on there, shining brightly in the Lancashire dressing room. Just above the clock, 8:45 it's showing. Railway station there, all illuminated now. Still found in the middle of Jack Bond's bat. So only a single. Davey, really a fine performance this by Jack Davey. 1 for 22 off 11 overs. Further conference between these two. So it's now 25 wanted to win off 5 overs. The run rate moving up a little bit, 5 and over. And still nobody leaving. Come down the wicket, I've no idea. Yes, I have. Yes, gone through extra cover for 4. So 4 good runs to David Hughes, using his feet, getting down the wicket to John Mortimer. So 21 runs to win, 3 wickets left, and 56 balls. So some field placings, bringing an extra man over on the offside for David Hughes. Swung away, could be 6. A tremendous blow by David Hughes. Right over long on for 6 runs. 4 and 6 coming off successive balls. Leaps and dances of delight by all the small boys in Manchester. They're on the field. They should get off fairly quickly because the light must get worse the longer they hold at play. So that brings the difference down to 15. David Hughes desperately signalling these boys to get out of the way. He wants to get on with it. Mortimer again. Challenge accepted, fine off drive. This won't find the boundary. Bissocks is there. They're coming back for the second. He's come again. Is he going to be safe this time? Yes, he's found the gap. Bring him 2 more runs. So tremendous over this for Lancashire. Just 11 wanted to win. Tremendous scenes here at Old Trafford. Lancashire still out there. 11 want it to win. There's certainly 4 more of them there. A magnificent cover drive by Hughes. 10 minutes to 9 in gathering gloom. And Lancashire pressing on. Now just 7 runs away for a momentous victory. And a lot of the credit in this over to David Hughes. He's already struck off this over. 4-6-2-2-4. And that Gloucester total of 229, now almost within reach. 7 runs, want it for victory. Still 4 more overs. John Mortimer in. He's going down again, and that's 6. A magnificent shot. A superb effort this by David Hughes. That's bringing the scores level. The crowd scenes, 22,000 people here have stayed to the bitter end, stayed through the dark, had tremendous value. All over the field, the scores are level, 24 came off that over. And David Hughes, a hero of the hour at Old Trafford. So a game of cricket I shall remember for a very long time. Never have I seen a game, a first-class game, go on such a length as this. From 11 o'clock this morning. And now after 10 minutes to 9. Proctor being tossed the ball, but what chance has he got now? 3 wickets still to fall, the score's level. So nothing now for Gloucester to do, but all gather in and try and prevent the single. And Proctor's only chance is a hat-trick. He's not going back off his first run. In he comes. On to face, a bouncer. And listen to the hoots from this crowd. Proctor has been the villain of the piece here over the last hour and a half or so. He's let loose a number of bouncers, and it is very dark now. Lancashire all on their toes. 1 run wanted for victory to take them once again into the final at Lord's in September. Jack Bond, the skipper, now encircled by the whole Gloucester side. Six runs these two have come on. Lights in the railway station, lights in the dressing room. There's lights everywhere except on the field, but it certainly hasn't worried David Hughes or Jackie Bond. Still not the single. All the crowd poised on the end of the ropes, waiting to converge on this field. All on their marks, on the toes, waiting to come. The stands still heavily populated. Gates were closed early this morning. The crowd have remained all the way through the day's play. Now we're getting the football crowd, the chanting, the singing. And Proctor again to Bond. Tried to swing it away, wanted to go for a leg by, but sent back. 2 balls left in this Proctor over. His latter spell, he's been taking something like 6 minutes to get through an over. But we're getting the Lancashire now from all the supporters round the crowd. They've really gone for this Gillette Cup cricket in a big way.
Scenes. Who's the fastest man? It's David Hughes. He's off halfway into the pavilion. Whole of the Gloucester team now encircled by this enormous crowd coming right across Old Trafford. They're heralding a victory by Lancashire. The man who made it possible, taking a single to win, was their skipper, Jackie Bond.
That extraordinary game made Gillette Cup history. It had lasted from 11 o'clock in the morning until just before 9 o'clock at night, in front of 23,000 people. So now Lancashire, who'd won the year before, remember, in 1970, were in the final again at Lord's, this time against Kent. A perfect September day, Lancashire batted first and scored 224 for 7. But when Kent went in, they looked at one time like being routed, until Asif Iqbal stood his ground with a magnificent innings. Here he is on 89, looking like a match winner, with Simmons bowling to him.
And a magnificent catch. You can't possibly see a better catch than that in a final. Look at the boys getting up to Jackie Bond, the captain who took it. It's the end of Asif. Could that be the vital wicket fallen in the whole of the day's play? It falls at 197. Jack Bond leaping to his right, grabbing it one hand, rolling over. And Asif is out for a superb innings.
Well, Jim Laker quite rightly asked the question, would it be the vital wicket? It most certainly was. Some 15 minutes later, Kent were all out for 200, leaving Lancashire the winners for the second year running by 24 runs. And in 1972, Lancashire made it 3 in a row, again under the leadership of Jackie Bond. In 1975, cricket's first World Cup, the Prudential World Cup, was organised in Britain, bringing together 8 nations in one-day competition. Now, the sponsors poured well over £100,000 into it, and the great climax came at Lord's in June in the final between Australia and the West Indies. Well, what a prospect, with the arch destroyers Lilly and Thompson on the one side, and master batsmen like Clive Lloyd and Rowan Canai on the other. A real feast of cricket. So let's sit back now as the first over unfolds, with Lilly of Australia bowling to Fredericks of the West Indies, and your commentators Richie Benner and Jim Laker.
It's a fine shot. First runs of the day by Fredericks. Cut away, there's Gilmore the fielder at third man on the fence, and a fine throw coming in. So West Indies scoring the first run off Lilly. That's the way to play the hook shot. The short one, beautiful in position, kept the ball down, takes a single to deep long leg. Sort of shot that really appeals to the West Indian supporters here. And there's a great hook shot, it's out of the ground. Oh, well, what bad luck that was. Played a magnificent shot, trod on his wicket, hit a 6. And a very disappointed Fredericks there, so one can only say it was a little bit of stroke of a luck there for Dennis Lilly. It was a short ball, beautifully played, hooked out of the ground at deep long leg for 6, and then knocking back his wicket. Swung away, beautiful shot there by Calichuran is in magnificent form, following that glorious cover drive with a beautiful hook off his legs before. And that's it, go behind, and there's a flick. Not the greatest of shots by little Alvin Calichuran, but Gilmore, who'd kept him quiet all through that over, bowling a very accurate and good length, finally making the little man have a flick outside the off stump.
That's a good catch by Rodney Marsh. Thompson's first wicket. Very, very low and away to Marsh's right hand. It just carried, and a very good effort from the West Australian wicketkeeper.
Going to beat Walker onto the ropes. Slightly downhill here at Lord's, and with this quick outfield, the ball gathering pace the whole way down to that tavern boundary. Magnificent hook shot out of the ground. Superb shot there by Lloyd. The West Indian crowd on their feet. No doubt at all about that shot. Beautifully played, in position so quickly. So Australia discovering here that there's another man they mustn't bowl short to. Really a brilliant hook shot for six there by Clive Lloyd, taking him into double figures. And he's dropped him. A let off there for Clive Lloyd, a disappointed Edwards. Didn't middle it, probably the error there in the fieldsman's mind was the ball didn't quite come through at the pace he was expecting it.
It's a fine shot for 4 runs. Just straying in direction down the leg side, and Lloyd made no mistake. So the 100 comes up now for the West Indies. It's also the 50 partnership between Lloyd and Kanhai in only 49 minutes. And Kanhai's made only 6 of them, so the whole thing dominated this morning by Clive Lloyd. Walker's been brought back on now. He's got through 7 overs for 22 and bowled very well in the first session. Just about to bowl his 8th over now to Clive Lloyd. It's a marvellous stroke. Straight down the ground, landing just inside the boundary. 51 to Clive Lloyd. Quite a remarkable innings today, and appreciated by every one of the supporters in the crowd, and even by those who may not be favouring the West Indies here today. Ross Edwards is coming round under that, and he's put it down. Another very difficult chance for Edwards, and he's unable to pick up that one either. That was perfectly placed by Ian Chappell. He put Edwards out there for that lofted shot away on the offside. Here it is again, Greg Chappell the bowler. Kanhai slashing away outside off stump, and Ross Edwards coming around from point on the fence. Might just have misjudged it a fraction, I think, but got both hands to it. Lilly is the man coming in under that, and he's put it down as well. 3 chances dropped by the Australians, all of them difficult, but all catchable. Kanhai picked up 2 runs. Disappointment there for the Australians, but they have only themselves to blame.
Hoisted away into the grandstand balcony. A tremendous blow by Clive Lloyd. Wasn't all that short, in fact, something like a good length ball, but picked it up, timed it sweetly, and he moves on to 73. And really hammered that square for 4, and there's no way you can bowl to a man like Clive Lloyd when he's in this sort of form. Glorious shot. What a magnificent shot. Wide half volley, waiting for it, cracked it square, up goes the hat. It's 50 now to Rohan Kanhai.
carried. Marsh asking Dickie Bird, not quite sure whether that's carried through to the keeper. He's going to ask Tom Spencer if he feels it's carried. A long deliberation, one either says yes or no fairly quickly there. But he's given him out, yes, it seemed a long time. So the end of Clive Lloyd, catch taken by Marsh behind, a wicket for Gilmore, and the end of a really brilliant innings. There's bowling. So Gilmore taking his third wicket. Kanhai fairly rapidly following his partner Lloyd. But the end of a most valuable innings there by the veteran West Indian player Rohan Kanhai. And he's bowled him, what a great over this is. Oh, Gilmore turning it on again, it's Richard's turn to go this time. So this young man who's been held back, he only bowled the first spell of 6 overs. And took a wicket in that, has now come back and in 3 overs he's collected another 3 wickets. His figures at the moment standing on 4 for 34 and brought this game very much again Australia's way. 209 for 6.
Change in the bowling. Doug Waters has bowled his last over, and it's now to be Jeff Thompson bowling to Boyce. Lilly, and it beats him into the boundary. Wide of Jones, a good shot too. Picked that up beautifully off his toes.
And what Boyce is facing is Jeff Thompson. And that's a full pitch. So Keith Boyce fall into that full pitch. Quite happy about it. 34 very valuable runs in brisk time from the Barbadian. Only 43 minutes, the 7th wicket to go down. Score on 261. He's had a go at that. He's middled that one all right. A fine shot by Derek Murray. And Lilly getting the treatment, another 6. And he will not learn that you can't bowl them halfway down to these West Indian cricketers, no matter what order they come in. Derek Murray at number 9, a fine hook shot into the crowd for 6. Boosting this West Indies score now to 282 for 7. And Murray has gone very quickly into double figures. That's an easy caught and bowled. Gilmore snapping it up, and that gives him 5 wickets, so 5 wickets for Gary Gilmore, following his 6 wickets against Leeds up at Headingley. What a great start he's had to this first tour of this country. And nearly swung himself off his feet there. Gilmore not too worried about it, but he could be because they'll run a second one. So 2 more, that's it. It's the end of the West Indian innings. Their score standing on 291 for 8. Superb century we've seen from Clive Lloyd. And the bowling honours here taken by Gary Gilmore, the man walking off with 5 wickets to his name.
Well, what a massive task the West Indies had set Australia. 292 to win. No team had ever scored that many batting second in England in one-day cricket. But Rick McCusker and Alan Turner got the Aussies off to a sound start. So here now with the score 25 for no wicket is Boyce bowling to McCusker.
And that's the first wicket down. Caught that second slip by Kalicharan, the breakthrough that West Indies needed so badly. Boyce just getting that leg cutter to run away from the right hand of McCusker. The run rate required by the Australians is just under 5 and over, 4.86. Great shot. Lovely shot from Ian Chappell. He's been aiming to club the ball away through extra cover 3 or 4 times, but he hasn't had his timing right until that one.
Boyce is still in charge of the bowling at the pavilion end. Starting now is 7th over. He's the solitary wicket taker so far. And a brilliant diving effort there by Boyce. Been so many difficult chances gone to ground here today. It's a short one, a great hook shot there by Alan Turner. Really latched onto that one, waiting for the short one. Put it away decisively behind square for 4. And Clive Lloyd, who invariably in these matches seems to come on for a few overs and very often snaps up with a valuable wicket. Field very much on the defensive, no slip for the West Indian captain. So the two captains here in direct opposition.
And very close, yes, he's run him out. So Clyde Lloyd, come on. A throw there from Viv Richards, a delighted Viv Richards. And Alan Turner, slow to set off, was ambling through, thinking he was safely home. But the speed, mobility of Richards tricked him in the end. And that's a blow to Australia when they were going so very well indeed. And the West Indian crowd, who've been extremely quiet for the last 45 minutes, back on their feet again now. As the West Indies take the second wicket, that of Alan Turner, run out for 40 with the score on 81. It's away all right this time. Beautiful shot. Elegantly clipped off his legs there by Greg Chappell. Short and hit away most powerfully this time by Chappell. Greg Chappell making a second boundary there.
What did he do to Ian Chappell? It's 4 runs, a very fine glance there by Ian Chappell. So 5 runs from this over. Andy Roberts. Oh, and there must be a run out here. He must be out. Richards again. Tragedy for Australia. Absolute tragedy with a misfield there. The old rule of never run on a misfield still holds good. Waving that he hadn't caught it, it bounced just in front of him, but a great piece of fielding. Good shot from Ian Chappell. Ben Van Holders the fieldsman, who'll pick it up inside the boundary. It's 3 to Chappell, and it brings up his half-century. So a good fighting innings from the Australian captain. He's unfortunately been concerned in the 2 run-outs that have occurred in the Australian innings, but he's batted very soundly. He gave 1 chance. His 50 came up in 100 minutes, and it has included 4 boundaries.
And a terrific shot. That really was a wonderful blow. Onto that so quickly, enormous power, he put that away. Oh, it's a glorious shot. Short, cut away off the back foot by Walters. And Walters certainly looking something of a menace now to these West Indian fielders. Beautifully timed shot. 162 for 3 after 38 overs. Clive Lloyd now pushing a man back on the deep square leg boundary. And utter confusion again between the 2 Australian batsmen. Turning that one off his legs. into his stride fairly quickly, takes 2 runs. Clive Lloyd to start his 11th over. And he's bowled in, so that's the wicket West Indies wanted. And that could be the turning point in the game. Walters, who looked and gave us a glimpse here of his true form, fall into Clive Lloyd with his score on 35. A 5th success for the West Indies, with the Australian score standing at 170.
Boyce to Marsh. Bowled him, and that, I should think, is just about the end for Australia. Marsh bowled by Boyce, aiming away through mid-on. He made 11, and the Australians are 195 for 6 in the 47th over, chasing 292 to win. It's a good shot from Edwards, who's not a hooker, but he swung that around. He went with the ball, swung it around behind square leg for 4 to take him on now to 24. It's a very good shot. Beautiful lofted straight drive from Gilmore. He's the youngest member of this Australian party in England at the moment. And that must be out. Kanai, and he's caught it safely. Just 10 yards in from the boundary. An attempted bouncer from Keith Boyce. And Kanai in all sorts of trouble there. 4 runs. It's a good shot from Walker. Now 6 overs have cost 30 runs. Boyce now is bowling his 12th over to Edwards. And it's in the air, and Fredericks must catch that. A simple chance. And Australia have lost their 8th wicket for 231. The West Indian crowd is going wild over on the left of the ground. Max Walker now is on 7, facing Keith Boyce. Holder. And that's out! The 4th run out of the innings. A very fast throw from Holder. I wouldn't mark it down as one of the best pieces of running between the wickets I've ever seen from any cricketer. And Max Walker is out, having turned the ball to Holder, started off down the pitch, was sent back by Thompson, who never had any intention of going, and there certainly wasn't a single there. So now we have 4 run-outs in this Australian innings, which stands now at 233 for the loss of 9 wickets. Fine shot from Thompson. Picked that nicely off his toes and into the square leg boundary for 4. Australia now onto 243 for 9 wickets.
And the West Indian contingent ready on the sidelines for the dash over and when West Indies can pick up this last wicket. That's high in the air. He's middled it pretty well over the top of Clive Lloyd. So counts as 4 more. And the Australians not giving up without a great fight here. And he's missed this time, otherwise we should have had the 5th run out. They're coming back for the overthrow. And if Richards had thrown to the other end, I think it might have been curtains. And the big crowd staying on here, applauding the 250 achieved by Australia, and this has been a tremendous fight back. Full marks here to the Australians, standing on 250 for 9. Still wanting 42 more runs with their last pair at the wicket. And that's it. That's it. He's told him to go back. The overthrow off a no ball again. Overcome the crowd. They think it's over. They didn't see the no ball signalled, and these two batsmen are still running, and it's absolute chaos out there. Nobody knows what's happened. They can keep on running. Lily says, keep going. We can run 10 here. Because nobody can find the ball. The crowd are on the field. Everybody trying to find out now how many they actually did run, what happened. It was a no ball, it was a catch taken, it was a shy by Fredericks at the wicket, and they ran the overthrows. And Tom Spencer doesn't quite know what it's all about down there. Cricketers move as quickly, gathering the sacred stumps. The charge of the brigade over. A win for West Indies here by 17 runs. And unforgettable scenes here at Lord's Cricket Ground at the end of one of the greatest one-day matches one could ever possibly wish for. 291 scored by West Indies, 274 the Australian reply. And the crowd gathering in there now, mobbing over the pitch. They've waited a long time. Keith Boyce still unable to get through. That great mob of people that have surged onto Lord's ground here. The British law doing its best there to keep this excited crowd away. And Prince Philip, of course, President.
After 9.5 hours of glorious play, a magnificent occasion, never to be forgotten by anyone who saw it. And that, appropriately enough, is a line that could well be used about our next sporting memory as we turn the clock back to 1966 to another World Cup final played in England, but this time in football. Of course, it's the England-West Germany match, the final at Wembley, at the end of July in 1966. Now, I'm particularly looking forward to seeing this because I didn't see it at the time. I was getting ready to cover the Commonwealth Games in Kingston, Jamaica. But I did feel I had a bit of a personal interest in it because way back in 1962, I had interviewed Alf Ramsey, the England manager, at his home in Ipswich for BBC television, and he'd made then his famous prediction that England would win the World Cup in 1966. Now, Alf had only just been appointed the England manager, and his prediction, well, you could say it was laughed at. But now here were England in the final at Wembley in front of 93,000 very excited people. Now, our pictures are in black and white for the simple reason that all pictures on television in those days were black and white. But I think it does rather enhance the period feel of the occasion, as indeed does the voice of the commentator, because at that time it was the voice of football, Kenneth Wolstenholme. And with him is the late Wally Barnes.
There's Bobby Moore of England, Cohen, Ball, Banks, Wilson, Hurst, Charlton, Bobby Charlton, Peters, Stiles and Jackie Charlton bringing up the rear. And West Germany captained by Uwe Seeler, who 12 years ago made his debut on this very ground for West Germany when he was just 18. And at that time, West Germany were the world champions, having won the World Cup in 1954. They were fourth in 1958. England never before have got past the quarter-final stage. And before the play begins, the rival supporters having a chanting, shouting and singing match with each other. Thousands of German supporters salute their team. This is the German side. Number 5 is Schultz, one of the greatest defenders in football today. Haller, number 8, plays in Italy. There, England will have to watch. England team, they're unfamiliar, dark shirts, never been beaten in a football match by West Germany. There's Jackie Charlton, number 5. Bobby Charlton, his brother. Gordon Banks, surely the greatest goalkeeper in the world. England goalkeeper. The rain has stopped. The excitement is intense. The ground in many places is soft, but the 1966 World Cup final is underway. The ground is at its softest. The goal mouth to our left. There's Sink. good 2 or 3 inches there. England going to be taken by Wilson. It's Charlton. Whitke is the man who didn't play in the semi-final. Up comes Styles. Good bit of thinking by Styles. Hunt. Strong German defence. They're very quick to come back and cover. Haller to Zähler, who's got Helt on his left. This is Helt. 1, 2, 4, 5 men covering Banks. Back to Emmerich. And that was the wrong foot for Mr. Emmerich. Top goal scorer in Germany last season. Emmerich comes from Borussia Dortmund. Bobby Charlton, Hunt, and Hurst moving up. And so too Styles again. And in goes Hunt. Charlton, Bobby Charlton, Hurst, Cohen, and the goalkeeper's flat out injured. And Ball gave away a free kick, pushing. Tulkovsky, all right. Obviously a bang in the face. Probably saying to himself, well, I heard Muhammad Ali, Cassius Clay was here, but I didn't think he was on the field. So it's a free kick to West Germany. It's Oberrat. Jack Charlton. And up comes Peters. Here's Peters. Great save by Tulkovsky. The Germans, 10 minutes gone, no score. The Germans have been called the greatest actors since Martin Harvey, but obviously Mr. Dietz isn't going to have any nonsense from him. Kick to West Germany. Mr. Dienst, without doubt, one of the greatest referees on the pupil list. Beckenbauer is going to take this one. The England defence was solid enough, all 11 of them coming back. Right. Ball with Bobby Charlton breaking on the left. Hurst inside and Hunt right down the middle. And now Peters coming up. This is Peters. The way things are going at the moment, but both teams still doing a lot of sparring. And Wilson penalised, taking Zähler's ankles. Haller to Zähler. Schnellinger now to Helt, number 10. Who was the better? To Haller, a goal! West Germany have scored. 12 minutes gone. Helmut Haller has put West Germany in the lead. Bobby Charlton. That is number 21, Hunt, with Weber close to him all the time. Sulkowski, this German goalkeeper. Oh, the German supporters making all the noise at the moment. Bobby Charlton. Now, Moore moving up with the attack. And brought down by Overat. Moore with a free kick. In goes! It's an equaliser!
Okay, that was a brilliant piece of football there by Bobby Moore. He looked up and he saw that the Germans had momentarily gone flat across the penalty area, and he flighted it, of course, to his own home club player, who must always be looking for this type of cross when Bobby Moore's in possession. And there he is. It's put England back on level terms now.
Last Saturday, Jeff Hurst got that vital goal which knocked out Argentina. Now he's got a vital goal which has put England back into this game. Beckenbauer, so far we've seen no danger from him bursting through. Emmerich, the sailor again. Now ball. Number 10 is Hurst, and there's Stiles again moving up to provide an extra attacker now than Charlton. Beckenbauer spent all his time following Charlton, who's more a defensive player than he normally is. And out goes Hurst! And there's ball! Now this is Beckenbauer. Beckenbauer to Helt. There's Emmerich, who just moved into the middle. Brilliant tackle. Good ball. And England are rather lucky to get away with only a corner against them. Well, the England defence really ruffled and ragged then. Corner going to be taken by Helt. Overat! Oh, a fine save, Emmerich! Well done, Gordon Banks, the hero of England. That's a good ball from ball to ball. Referee looking at his watch. Jack Charlton. Coolness of Hutke is going to get up to Zela. Emmerich. And there goes the whistle for half-time. The score, 1 goal each. Haller scored for West Germany after 12 minutes. Hurst, there's Haller, the scorer for West Germany after 12 minutes after a mistake by Wilson. And 6 minutes later, number 10 in the dark shirt, there he is, Jeff Hurst. The neat flick, as neat as the one he got last Saturday, equalised for England from a quick free kick, taken by Bobby Moore. Torrential rain as England start the second half. May I just remind you that if the scores are level after 90 minutes, there is half an hour's extra time. They're still level, a replay here Tuesday night. Ball. There's Barry Charlton. Can he get that right foot shot in? Play on. Cohen. That's Hurst again. Moore. Hurst to Peters. Helt. This is Haller. Emmerich, who's had a wretched World Cup. There he is. Helt. Beckenbauer. Emmerich has got to get it to his left foot. He's very much a left-footed player. Bobby Charlton. Great yawning gap down the middle. Hunt. Here comes ball. Corner kick. I remember the day before the competition began, Billy Wright saying that the last 20 minutes would be in England's favour on this pitch. The crowd seemed to sense it. Ball with the corner. Hurst. What a chance! Oh, Peters.
And that undoubtedly was a well-taken goal by Peters. He could have blasted that over the top, but he stabbed at it, kept his knee over the ball. And England 2-1 in the lead now, deservedly so, because they've been piling on the pressure. And what I am convinced is that Bobby Moore will drive them on now for the last 12 minutes of this game. He's really going to drive them now.
There's Martin Peters, the man who's scored the goal which could well win the World Cup for England. That looked like a push by Moore, yes, on Schnellinger. Schnellinger has gone up as a blatant attacker now. Weber, Schnellinger now to Haller. Over waiting for it as ball went for it. So you see how near England are to victory. 2 minutes, that's all there is left. Bobby Charlton, Peters coming up on his right. This is Hunt. Charlton. Schnellinger now will come back as England go for the third. This is Overath. There's Hell going down the left. Ooh, there was some terrible oohs and gasps. That was Overath. 13 years ago, the Hungarians came and showed that England were no longer masters of football. And in those 13 years, England has fashioned a team which is on the threshold of being the world champions. And it's a free kick to West Germany. 1 minute to go, just 60 seconds. Every Englishman coming back, every German going forward. Now, will the Germans snatch a dramatic equaliser and bring us to extra time? It's Emmerich coming in. And he's... Oh, yes, they must do! They have done! Weber has scored in the last seconds. Dramatic end. We are now in injury time, and there goes the whistle for the end of 90 minutes, so you can see how near England were to the World Championship. But now they have another 30 minutes.
despair that must have swept over England at that moment can well be imagined. They'd seen what looked like certain victory snatched away from them. Now, with exhaustion threatening, cramp beginning to creep into the legs, it all had to be done again in the next 30 minutes. West Germany had the psychological edge. Their morale was soaring. England's was near to zero, and the stress and strain of it all clearly showed in their faces.
There's Bobby Charlton, picture of a serious man. Off we go, 15 minutes each way. Styles has got stockings rolled down. There he is, right in the centre of the picture. Ball has got stockings rolled down. This is always a sign, cramp creeping into the consideration. And in comes Haller. Number 8, Helmut Haller. Here comes Bobby Charlton. And Brother Jack breaking on the left. Hurst has been a bundle of mischief with every high ball that's come across. Ball. Jack Charlton. Peters. Bobby Charlton. Oh! Hit the post. And the goalkeeper's taken another one in the mouth. Now you see how long of extra time we've had. 2 goals each. Just 20 minutes of the game left. Here's Ball running himself daft. And now Hurst, can he do it? He has done, yes! Yes! No! No, the linesman says no. The linesman says no. It's a goal! It's a goal! Oh, and the Germans go mad at the referee. This line, at the linesman who can only speak Russian and Turkish.
Alf Ramsey's team had shown their spirit, and the linesman's nod had sent them into the lead again, 3-2. The Germans now had to claw their way back. But there was still the second half of extra time to come. Another 15 minutes, standing between England and the World Cup and the delirious acclaim of a nation hanging on to every moment.
Away we go. Here comes Held. Emmerich. Schnelliger now overouts. This is Emmerich. Hurst the ball. Now to Hunt. Here comes Ball. Goodness, has he run himself mad, this young fella. And Wilson. Now Beckenbauer. Emmerich was running on to that pass from Held. Noticeable that Beckenbauer still hasn't got back. He's just walking slowly in midfield. Overrush there with the ball, playing almost like the Alan Ball of Germany. Running everywhere, tireless. There's once again with Hurst. There's Jeff Hurst, still willing to have a go. 1 minute, 20 seconds left for play. Here's Schultz. Schnellinger is looking as if he can't move another inch. Goes Haller, there's Sailor. Back to Schultz. Sensible one from Conan. This should be the last gasp. 1 minute to go. Everyone's got to come up for this one for Germany. Haller. Now then, Petke, the referee, looks at his watch. Any second now, it will all be over. 30 seconds by Watson. The Germans are going down and they can hardly get up. It's all over, I think. No, it's... And here comes Hurst. He's got... Some people are on the pitch. They think it's all over. It is now. It's 4. And Charlton. And the players bring themselves down. Has got 3. One man has not come off the pitch. Alf Ramsey, the man who schemed all this, is still as calm and as cool as ever. He is still standing in the position he's held all the match. The reserves are on. There's George Easton, there's Jimmy Armfield, there's John Kennelly. This great moment in English sporting history as Bobby Moore goes up to get the World Cup. Alf Ramsey walking forward to shake his hand. There is Alf Ramsey, the first sign of emotion from this man who has organised this victory. Bobby Moore comes up to receive the Jules Rimet Trophy for England. Her Majesty to the Queen. It's only 12 inches high, solid gold, and it means England are the world champions. There's Sid Collins, a happy man, chairman of the International Committee. And here's the 3 gold star, Jeff Hurst. And Bobby Charlton weeping with emotion. Roger Hunt, Martin Peters, Jackie Charlton, Ray Wilson, Alan Ball, George Cohen, Nobby Stiles, and Gordon Banks. This great moment. There's the Jules Rimet Trophy. What a day this is. A day none of us privileged to be here will ever forget. This is a great sight. And what a sight by the Players' Tunnel. And throughout it all, Alf Ramsey walks quietly off the pitch. I have never seen Nobby Stiles like this before. And the crowd, they're going to tear Wembley apart. I've never seen this at a cup final or any match at Wembley. What a great moment for English football.
Well, that it certainly was. But by 1974, I'm afraid it was all just a memory, because they fired Sir Alf as England's manager. Well, I hope you've enjoyed these nostalgic moments. There are many, many more that we could share, and perhaps one day we shall. I hope so. Goodbye.